Greetings. Today we're going to talk about the 2.3.4 patch preview, the Pollux patch, and my thoughts on the patch notes, some tier list changes, Cassiah buffs, etc. Now we're going to go over it step by step, the announcement, and a couple other things. New G Murphy actress, blah blah blah, I don't care. So this is Pollux. You see my pre-release kit review of him. Again, I'm going to play him for a minimum 6 hours, and I'm going to form a final opinion on him after I play him at every dupe level, E0, OE, whale. So, and rate him and show you what teams to use on him. Again, other content creators are fucking garbage at the fucking game. They play for like 20 minutes and they make a shitty guide, and they basically get their facts wrong. So that's why I put a limit on myself. I keep playing him for 6 hours, endgame content, every piece of content. I do not stop until the 6 hours are over. And I play him in a variety of comps. If I run out of comps, I'll keep playing him to figure out what he does. And I'll experiment him. So this is the rerun caster, the actual good unit that he pairs with. So I'll go back to these two in a bit. So this is his event, which is Nightfall. You get some cores. The SR wheel for him, SR wheel. It's pretty decent. It's a pretty good SR wheel. His crit rate and final damage is very strong. Just not on Pollux. Pollux doesn't generate a lot of shield usually. It's good if you don't have the caster one. Like, so let's say you didn't do the caster event and you somehow don't have it. So you would grab it. No, you grab it anyway, so. Let's go down. This is his posse. Another posse. This is a nice 1% buff to you in Arc 2. 1% buff on Orison and Relics. Nice. So the effect is draw one card, reduces cost by one, blah blah. So this is used to draw his heart again when it's top deck. But in a catcher team, you don't need it because you Onyx Plume and then you get its card anyway. So it's kind of meh. You only want it for the draw, really. I guess the Sin Mark is okay. But again, this is the Halloween event for G Murphy. Spooky Candy. I already went over this in a previous video. I'm not going to go over it again. 4-star skin. Shitty character. This is another Wheel of Destiny thing. I recommend you get it because it's a free plus 12 wheel. And some pulls. These are generally good value just for another source of pulls and for this. This is the main reason why you want to buy it, not for the pulls, is for a plus 12 wheel. Because you're going to be needing 5 to 10 teams, and a plus 12 SR wheel means you equip another plus 12 SR wheel, and SR wheels have double the stacks of SR wheels, SR wheels have double the stats of R wheels. So, it's a good pickup if you have the money, but this is not as important as previous wheels, because it's only Sigil Yield. Sigil Yield is good, but if the effect was better, I would recommend always buying it. But the effect is just gain 50 alienness after resetting at the shop, which is pretty nice, but it doesn't trigger that much. Some stages only have like one shop, for example, in Endgame. But you would still do it anyway. It's free money, put on support. So, this is the pre-order pack I talk about on my spreadsheet and stuff. These are always great value. You should always buy pre-order packs. They only come by every 3 to 4 months. So you get a heavy dose of pools and silver. And another limited dupe for wheels and character. And these. This is a must-pull. You don't have to be a special blue player to know it. Even if you're old trash, you should be able to realize that this is a good package. You also get an icon, the special icon. I know all of you guys decided for the icon. That's the real reason why you buy this, right? The icon. Not for this. The icon is what matters, dude. So this is what I'm going to go over. This is the triple rerun. Hopefully you guys did not pull on the scam banner, as many people call, because now you can selectively pull for Till Will. This is the key unit you'll get, unless you want Murphy, but she's already in the standard banner, and some of you guys already have copies of her. Sorrel, she is getting buffed, but I don't think the buff's going to do much. But Till Will, so that's the bad thing about Pollux. Till Will is rerunning the same time as his banner. And Caster. So, you only pull for Pollux if you're gay or you're a girl who likes twinks. That is it. If you love twinks, or if you're gay, pull for Pollux. There's nothing wrong with pulling for Pollux. Pollux is decent. There are better options. Okay. Remember, I don't hate the gays. All I hate are the filthy, dirty, disgusting insect people who like climb. Okay. So these are their wheels. So this is Tawil's event rerun. All of her shit and her fucking gateway of truth. So it goes up to Annie. Annie, remember, the Annie patch is the 17th. This is the Trapeze premium topic. This is the battle pass icons right here. These are the regular Trapeze rewards for this month. So we're going to talk about the buffs. So Tawil now has a buff, which she doesn't need. Spoiler alert, on the tier list, she's going to go from S tier to S tier. This does not change anything. She's already strong. Now she's stronger. Caster, he gets the racism buff. That's what the community calls it. Now he's also racist, just like Pollux, against people who go to church. Now, in Arc 2, there are Awakeners that are racist against a certain enemy type. It was called the racist buff because it was originally just a buff against the fish people. Like, Corporal hates the fish people. Like, originally it was just like, okay, Corporal really hates fish people, and they're like a race in the game. So eventually became a meme in the community. Now we just call it the racism buff. Doricine also has a racism buff, which is against departed enemies, which are dead people. So Awakeners every now and then will have a buff where they do more damage to X faction. 24 deals more damage to Sculptor people. She hates the arts. Caster and Pollux hates people who go to fucking church. Okay? So that's his buff. He doesn't need it. So we're going to talk about the biggest glow up buff. Cassiah. Cassiah is going to jump up 1 tier or maybe 2 tiers on my tier list. She's no longer old trash. She's now disguised as a blue unit. Cassiah is now a blue unit. Honorary discard blue member. You know why? They fixed it. Now her poof counts as a discard. Nice. Extremely needed. Now she goes into blue discard comps. The best realm. Very good. Tinkt. Not a good buff. Regardless of what value is. You know why? Stealing strength is okay, but it's not why you would want to bring most supports in. Like, it just buffs it. It doesn't fix her core issues of why she is bad. Because her cards are too heavy. She requires too much play when you want to play your DPS cards. For what she brings to the table. She does not bring to the table as much as other support units. So that's why she's still bad. And especially in late game, enemies are going to do huge, big hits. She does not have the stats to steal enough strength. And she doesn't steal all the strength. Let's say Goliath, and an enemy gets 2,000 strength, like the recent D-Tide boss, which gets 2,000 strength on Alert 5. Goliath steals all their additional strength. This is a flat value she steals. If the enemy gains thousands of strength endgame, she's still going to only steal 20, maybe 30. Good on multi-hits, but on multi-comps, you would rather run Pikmin, you would rather run Tawil, you would rather run G-Doll, which are better support, better units than Tinkt. So it doesn't change anything. Sorel, theoretically, this could be good. This could buff her up a few tiers, depending on the damage values. I am hesitant. Every time they do these gain high strength for the first 5 instances, increase damage instances, blah, 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 it turns out to be a nothing burger. Let's look at Lei, for example. Lei got the same buff strength. She gives you 2 to 3 strength per card. Now, depending on the dev's definition of high strength, it could be 20, it could be 50, it could be 100. In order to be valuable, this needs to be like 150 to 200, in my opinion. If it's not 150 to 200, it does not fix her core issues. So, that's it for the patch. Now let me go up and talk about Pollux and the rerun. So, as I said before, this is even worse, because they want you to run Pollux with Caster, but why pull for more Pollux when you pull for more Caster? So, let's say you're in a situation, for example, where you're deciding between the two. Caster OE, Caster E3 can already clear almost all content by himself. Look at my videos, look at my coaching sessions, look at my recent coaching sessions. It's 3 hours. Sorry, I do long streams. I'm sorry. That's why you look at it, small videos or just pop up when I stream. Again, time of releasing video, I'm gonna do scheduled streams from now on. I'm gonna schedule them on my YouTube page. So just join if you need help. Just know when I'm streaming. I'm gonna stream this Saturday, tomorrow, noon Eastern, to like 6, 7 a.m. the next day. Okay, maybe I stream noon to noon the next day. Probably 24-hour stream. If I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream, then I'm gonna do a 11-hour, 30-minute one. Take a 30-minute break or an hour break, grab some food, then come back. Maybe take like a 30-minute nap or something. Again, I don't sleep that much. People don't believe me, but just check the times I'm on Discord or when I'm working. You can see my sleep schedule. It's not a secret, dude. I go 9 to 5. I have a 9 to 5. Okay. 10, 20 minutes to drive home. And then I nap for like an hour or two sometimes. And then I stay awake the rest of the night. And then an hour or two before work, sometimes at 6 a.m. I then sleep for like 2 hours, wake up at 8, get ready, then drive to work. That is my sleep schedule. Okay, so any of you are curious, Eastern, that is my sleep schedule. It has been this way for over a decade. I wasn't always like this. I used to sleep 8 hours a day in elementary school through high school. Once I got into college, recent ago, I'm very young. Recent ago, I found out in order to start into workforce, I either need to give up my hobbies or give up sleep. I gave up sleep and I trained my body slowly using timers. Okay, what you gotta do is you gotta set timers every time you go to sleep, 4 hours, and you do this over the course of weeks. So your alarm wakes you up after you sleep for 4 hours. Then you do something. Then you set an alarm again, sleep another 4 hours. Eventually lower that timer over the course of a couple of days. And after a month, you're good. You can never sleep more than 4 hours again. That is the secret. Everyone should try it out when you're trying to get in the workforce. That's how you can keep your hobbies and do your personal life stuff too. So yeah, you don't need that much sleep. I proved it worked. It just takes some training to get used to it, you know. The first week is the worst, trust me. Okay, sorry about the little bit of rambling there. So, Pollux and Caster. Caster already can clear every piece of content the game has to offer, and Pollux works best with Caster. As I said in my video, how his kit works. And with Caster rerun, why would you not want more copies of Caster versus Pollux? To make Caster stronger. Caster can already do everything. And in addition, who else is rerunning? Tawil, S tier character, also functions by herself. She has everything due to her copy card. She can bone, she can weakness based on her exalt. She can do everything. Strength, skill, everything. She's an S tier character for a reason. Caster is also up there. At certain dupe levels, he can DPS. However, out of the box, he cannot DPS. He's just a defensive unit. As you get more dupes of him, his E2, his E3, his OE, he becomes a DPS and can carry your entire team for you. Solo unit. Pair him with 3 other units he can carry. Now, let's say you pull on E3 Caster, E3 Pollux. That's 4-4. That's the same if you just pull for OE Caster. And that is a better investment. You know why? You are time gated by level up mats, Soul Forge talent mats, other mats, which can be used on each character. They don't give you a lot of them. So rather than using resources to level up 2 characters, you can use it to level up 1 character that does everything. So it's actually better for you to go all in on Caster because he can do everything by himself. Pollux needs a lot to work on with his mechanics. He's not a solo DPS like Calf, like Tawil, like those units. He requires Caster or Retain units to work well with. To draw his heart, to get more cards in hand. Like his cards in hand, every card you have remaining in hand, his strike and defense, get more alienness. He wants a hand size wheel for that. There's only 3 hand size wheels in the game. Caster, Tawil, Dies. Now they're all taken by S tier DPS already. So he has to run with Caster. Caster already wins. Now, that's not to say that Pollux and Caster is weak. It's very strong. That's probably the best version of the Caster team you can possibly run, Pollux and Caster. But in a game where you need 5 to 10 teams endgame, why would you spend pools on Pollux instead of saving your pools and making it to build up another brand new team is what I'm trying to get at. Now, if you love Pollux's design, if you're, let's say you love twinks, let's say you're gay, let's say you're a girl and you have a fondness for twinks for whatever reason, or let's say Pollux reminds you of your son who became a twink, and let's say he died in a horrific car accident, and you want something to remember him by. There's Pollux. Pollux is right there. Pull for him. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna shame you for pulling for him. Unlike a Wolf for Clem. He's a great unit with Caster. He's a great pair. But in a world where you have limited amount of upgrade maps, limited amount of talents, limited amount of resources, then you would just pull for more Caster and Tawil. Like, just keep going in on Caster. He can already do everything. And if you are running Caster with Pollux, that's one less team slot to figure out who you're going to get your vulnerability from, or other Awakers. Because Pollux and Caster has no Bone, and Bone is a very powerful buff. And Pollux, unlike other DPS, does not come with a Bone source. And he already wants Caster. That's a weakness source. So you need to find a vulnerable source to put in a team that doesn't demand much from you as a player. And all of the vulnerable champions are already taken up. Let me pull up the game. Most of the vulnerable supports are already taken up by other teams. Let's say Ogier. Most people are running him with Dorothy, for example, for the Vuln there. Or even Cat. So, already used up. Let's say Tawil, already on her own. Dies, already on with Jellet. Caucus, already with Tawil. G-Doll, already with the Poison team. Corporal, already with the Discard team. Who else has Vonir? Let's see. Salvador, already on his own team. Pikmin with Thorazine. Again, there's not a lot of options left for getting your bone sources. In order to get a bone source, you have to steal a bone source from another meta endgame team to put in the team. So that's a big flaw with the current Pollux with Caster. If Caster wasn't buffed to the point he currently is, I would say pull for Pollux to make team work, but team already works. Like, it doesn't matter if you kill the boss endgame within 2 turns or 10,000 turns. The boss is going to die with Caster, and it doesn't take 10,000 turns. You're going to kill the boss by turn 10 usually. So, Pollux is going to speed it up by like 1 or 2 turns. Maybe even 3 turns faster. You're going to kill the boss 3 turns faster, put him in Caster team. But you were always going to win anyway. What I make my guys about is pulling on units, making teams until it can win, and then focusing on another team. Because you need to make multiple teams for endgame. So that concludes this video. I'll see you guys next time.